Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to my Robinhood portfolio. Hope you guys are having an awesome weekend here. Hopefully it's a relaxing weekend, preparing for the next week ahead, which will likely have, maybe not this next week, but within the next couple of weeks, interest rate hike. I think that's going to shake up the market quite dramatically. So kind of preparing for that. What I want to do with this video is just kind of break down my portfolio. I haven't done one of these videos in a while. My portfolio is now up to just over $21,416. That'd be kind of good to break down my portfolio with regards to what I have invested and what I have in each market sector. To kind of give you guys a feel of what I'm doing with my portfolio. So kind of having said that, let's just kind of jump in and go through my stocks here. I have about 50 to 60 stocks. So let's just kind of go through. So on the top here of my portfolio, I have a lot of ETFs. These are all high dividend yielding ETFs. The first one here, Wisdom Tree Total Dividend Fund, 2.5% dividend yield. iShares Dow Jones Select Dividend Fund ETF. These are all ETFs, like I said, 3.2%. ProShares, S&P 500 Dividend Aristocrats ETF. These are companies that have increased their dividends over the last 25 years. This has got a 2% dividend yield. Following is the Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF, another high dividend fund, 2.3%. Yep, 2.3% dividend yield on this one. We have the SPDR S&P 500 Dividend ETF, 2.3%, I think. Yep, dividend yield. And rounding out my ETFs, Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF. This is one of the first securities I actually bought on Robinhood. This has a 2.6% dividend yield. Next, I have some healthcare companies. First, farm companies, and then services companies after that. So my pharmaceuticals, I have AbbVie here. Great little stock, good dividend yield, 3.8%. Pfizer, again, one of my first purchases on Robinhood, 3.8% dividend yield. I got quite a bit of equity in this particular stock, 75 shares, 2361 total invested. And Portola, this is my speculative play, one of the first stocks I bought on Robinhood as well. As you can see here, the FDA decision did not go my way, and price kind of jumped, from $40, $50 here down to $28 range, and it's just been kind of hanging around. High 19, low 20. Every once in a while, it kind of jumps up a bit here, but it's a stock, a speculative play. Got quite a bit of money in, 99 shares, $1,912.68. So waiting till the spring for the next FDA decision on their breakthrough drug. They actually have a couple breakthrough drugs in the pipeline. So we'll kind of see how those play out. Next, we have some healthcare services company, Abbott Laboratories here. A good dividend yield here as well, 2.61%. Cardinal Health, good dividend yield, 2.5%. And rounding out my healthcare, Johnson & Johnson. This one has a 2.7% dividend yield. Next, we jump into industrials. First, aerospace, Boeing here. Made a little bit of money on this one so far, $15. It's got a 2.9% dividend yield. Lockheed Martin, another aerospace company, 2.5% dividend yield. Got some conglomerates following GE, 3% dividend yield. 3M as well, 2.5% dividend yield. Following is some machinery, Illinois Toolworks, 2% dividend yield. Got some railroad companies as well. Canadian National Railroad, 2.3% dividend yield. Union Pacific, 2.3% dividend yield. Got some, I guess we can bundle this under supplies, International Paper. Recent stock I picked up, a 3.9% dividend yield. I got one stock in materials, Dow Chemical. This has a 3.4% dividend yield. Next, we move into consumer discretionary. In my automotive section, I have Ford here. Got quite a bit of equity here, 622 shares, 73.1472. I have a nice little dividend coming as well, 93.30. I'm going to be playing this one long. This has got a great dividend yield, as you saw there, 5.1%. I also have a share of GM, not a lot. It's got a 4.4% dividend yield. Following, I have electronics company, Garmin here. This has a 4.2% dividend yield. General merchandise, Target, 3.3% dividend yield. I put this under a category I'm labeling leisure, Hasbro, 3.4% dividend yield. And I have some restaurants here. If you consider McDonald's a restaurant, it's got a nice dividend yield, 3.1%. Then Yum Brands, I originally bought Yum Brands at about $84, and it split off to Yum Brands and Yum Brands China. So here's Yum Brands. It did have a nice dividend yield of just over 2%, but since it split, the dividend yield kind of reverted to zero for both this one and the company it split off here. And you can kind of see this here. It just started here on October 16th was its first trading day. Following, I have some consumer staples. First, agriculture, Archer Daniels Midland, 2.8% dividend yield. Cisco here, I put this under foodstuffs, 2.3% dividend yield. We have some, I put this under household. Colgate, 2.3% dividend yield. Kimberly-Clark, 3.2% dividend yield. And any stock that I have a lot of holdings in, I'll kind of highlight those stocks. Otherwise, I only have a couple shares of each of these. And you can see that right down on the bottom there by my Robinhood portfolio logo. So Hershey's Company, this is packaging, 2.5% dividend yield. Kraft Heinz Company, just added another stock here to average this one down. It's got a nice 2.9% dividend yield. For personal cares, Procter & Gamble, I got 6 shares, just added to this one as well to average down. I got almost $500 invested. This has 3.2% dividend yield. Following, we have some beverage companies. Stock I just invested in, Anheuser-Busch, 4.5% dividend yield. Coca-Cola, just averaged this one down as well, bought a couple shares, 3.4% dividend yield. PepsiCo averaged this one down as well. I got almost $500, or actually $400 invested. It has a 2.9% dividend yield. Another one of my first stocks I bought, Bank of the Internet. This one does not have a dividend yield. One of the few stocks that doesn't. I have about $260 invested, and actually this one is up about $67 or so. So one of my best returns on a stock that has very little capital, only $260, but it has a $67 profit, so 34%. One of my best performing stocks. Wish I would have put a little bit more capital into that originally. Huntington bank shares as well. I think it's 2.3% dividend yield. Yep, or 2.2% dividend yield. Then Wells Fargo, just got a share of this, 2.9% dividend yield. Moving into information technology, I have a share of IBM, 3.4 dividend yield. Apple, 3 shares at 2.1% dividend yield. AMD, one of my, I think only 2 stocks does not have a dividend yield. Actually 3 if you can include Portola up top, so, and actually 4 with AMD. Anyway, one of the first stocks I bought, kind of just held on to this since it was kind of a sentimental thing. First stock, this is the first stock I bought on Robinhood, so that's why I've kept that in my portfolio. And it's actually made a little bit of money, $4.98. Intel Corporation got 1 share, 3%. Microsoft got 1 share at 2.4%. My telecoms, I have AT&T, got quite a bit of money, 20 shares, $751.20 invested. It's got a great dividend yield at 5.1%. Got a share of Verizon, 4.9%. Energy, I have ExxonMobil, $426 invested, 5 shares, made about $13 or so. I'll be holding this one long. It's got great dividend yield at 3.5%. A couple of energy companies, CenterPoint Energy, I have 4 shares of this, $93, 4.4% dividend yield. Southern SO, another energy company, 4.1% dividend yield. I have a couple REITs as well. Federal Realty Investment Trust, 2.8% dividend yield. Stag, 1 share. This has got a nice dividend yield actually, 6.1% dividend yield. Then I have some closed-end funds on the bottom here. Guggenheim Fund, 4 shares, $75. These have a much higher dividend yield. They're much more risky, jump up and down, but very, very good dividend yields if you can hang with these in their downturns. Pcm Fund, I have 2 shares at 9.3% dividend yield. I got some money invested in this Prospect Capital Corporation, PSEC, closed-end fund as well. It's got a great dividend yield, 12.5%. But again, these are pretty choppy. They go up and down in a pretty vigorous fashion. I have 1 share of PIMCO here, 10.7% dividend yield. And then rounding out my portfolio, I have a BlackRock Core Bond Trust, one of the only bond trusts I have left. Initially I had quite a few of these, and this one gives a 6% dividend yield. Then I have a couple penny stocks I just bought for fun here. You can see this one 5 cents and $1.79 for this last one here, Smith Industries. So that is kind of my portfolio. Like I said, I have $21,400 some invested. Looking to put a little bit more in. I'm trying to get up to about $25,000 by the end of the year. Maybe I'll do a little bit more day trading. So far I've made about 15 day trades or so, and actually came out positive on 12 of those, so not too bad. Made about $300 or $400 in that range so far with those day trades, so may do a little bit more of that moving forward, but just for fun. I don't think it's a viable long-term investment strategy, but fun to do nevertheless. So that is my portfolio. If you guys see anything in there that you would take out, you would add to, that you're a little bit nervous about, let me know. If there's any great stocks that you could possibly advise me on that you think would fit well in my portfolio. Again, any one of my market sectors, still adding to every one of those. Probably go a little bit more lightly on the healthcare stocks. I have quite a bit of equity already invested in both pharmaceuticals and services companies within healthcare, so probably will shy away from any more additions to that particular market segment. But industrials is very good right now. Financials are very good right now, so maybe adding to both of those sectors. But again, if you see anything that you think would be worthwhile, a good addition to my portfolio, let me know. So yeah, with that, I'll kind of end the video here. As always, if you like my videos, feel free to share, like, and subscribe if you're so inclined. I'm a new investor. I love learning about the markets. I'm not a seasoned investor by any means, so any comments, any suggestions, anything that you think would be helpful, let me know, and vice versa. If there's anything that I can help you guys out with, just go ahead and ask. I'm not sure I would always have the answer, but definitely something we can learn together about. So again, my portfolio, all the stocks in my portfolio, still expanding, still adding to the stocks I already have, averaging down, dollar cost averaging, value cost averaging. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of my portfolio, and we'll kind of end it there, and I'll see you next video.